Excellent, great. So welcome everybody. This is the first session that I'm doing today for the Carers Festival. And this session is all about CRISPs. So that's the Carers Resource Information and Support Programme that's run by BCP Council. And it's for carers of people that live in the Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole area. So I'm just going to take you through what CRISP do and how you can join. So if at any point you have any questions, you can let me know, or you can wait to the end. I don't mind at all. So who do we support? We support unpaid carers of people living in Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole. And unpaid carers are people that provide support to family members, partners or friends who couldn't manage without help due to an illness, a disability, mental health problem or an addiction. So what do we provide at CRISP? So we give you access to information, advice and support that will help in your caring role. We have a carers information service where we provide regular information and newsletters. We also have a dedicated carers website, which will give you access to a whole wealth of information. We've got a closed Facebook group, which will enable carers to have that peer support. And we've got a telephone line, and that's open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. We've got the number there, but there'll also be the number at the end of the slides, and we can send these out to everybody that needs them as well. So the information's there, but we will send that out to you later. So if you join the Carers Information Service, you'll get a welcome pack. And just to give you an idea of what our welcome pack includes, you get the latest copy of Caring Matters, which you might have heard of. This is a Dorset-wide magazine for carers, and it's got a whole wealth of information in there about what services are available to carers. And there's also some stories in there as well about what different carers have been through and what's helped them. We also include an A to Z of local carers services and lists of local carer support groups across the Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole area. And you also get a carers discount card. Now the discount card, it's actually discounts across the whole of Dorset. So it's not just Bournemouth and Christchurch and Poole, it's the whole of Dorset. And there's a website which details all the different places that you can get discounts. And it's a whole range of discounts. It ranges from things like physiotherapy, massages, to discounts in cafes and restaurants. And so all sorts of different discounts that you can get with that carers card. And being part of the information service, you'll also receive a bi-monthly newsletter. And that will have details of all the social events that we're holding, any training courses, any new services, and any other helpful information that you might like to receive. Other services on offer that we're involved with, there is a befriending and mentoring service that's run by Prama Life. Now, this service, it offers one-to-one befriending, which over the pandemic has been mostly over the telephone, but we're hoping to include more face-to-face visits going forward. They're also doing group visits as well. So they've got a walking group. I think they're setting up a gardening group as well. So there's lots going on there with Prima Life, and they're trying to involve as many carers as possible to get people meeting each other and socialising. We've also got Carers Advocacy Service by Dorset Advocacy Care and Help and Care. So for any carers that are needing that bit of assistance, we've got that support there as well. And we have respite opportunities. So we have social events. A lot of our social events during the pandemic had moved to being online. So we've been using Zoom. But now we're starting to open them back up again. So we've had a kayaking event. We've had an event, snowbobbing down at Snow Tracks. And so we're really open to ideas about what carers want, what more adventurous events they would like as well as the kind of more calmer events too. So we're trying to make a mix. So we've got something for everybody. We've also got 4 beach huts across the Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole area. And we've got 2 holiday lodges, one in Weymouth and one in Brixham. There's also a carers carefree choir, which is great fun. And we've also got an emergency backup scheme. So this is a scheme where you can provide information so that if anything in an emergency was to happen, you've got support for your cared for person. So you would give details of who we could contact if anything were to happen, and we'd be able to do that for you. And we also provide the support to access carers assessments with adult social care, because as a CRISP, if you identify as a carer, there's lots of different things and lots of different support and advice you can access. But if you have a carers assessment, there is further support that you could access as well. So we can support you to access those carers assessments as well. So that's the end of my presentation. I've got the contact details here. We've got the website, the email address, and the telephone number for CRISP. But I'd like to open it up to you now so that you can ask any questions that you might have about CRISP itself or how to join. You can join by going on the website, sending an email, or ringing the telephone number. But yeah, I'd like to open it up to everybody here to see if there's any questions that you have. If anybody does have questions, you might need to take yourself off mute first. I'm going to have a look in the chat. So Gabrielle is just asking where the recording will be. So what we're going to do is we're going to collate all of the everything from the Carers Festival today. We'll be able to collate them and send them out to you. So if you've signed up today, you should receive hopefully an email with all that information about where to access. And I can see that people are typing in the chat, so I'll just wait to see what messages come through. But do feel free to take yourself off mute and ask any questions that you have as well.
Hello, Emma. It's Gabrielle again.
Hello.
Hi. I was just wondering, I think I know that to qualify for like carers benefits, you have to be carer for 35 hours or more. With the CRISP, like belonging to the CRISP, can you just be doing sort of less hours than that to get all the benefits off the discount card and stuff like that?
That's right. So there's no limit to the number of the hours. It's basically if you're caring for somebody, you're providing support to a family member, a partner, or friend. It doesn't matter how many hours a week that is. You can join CRISP, so we'll recognise you as a carer. So it doesn't have to be that you care for a certain amount of hours to get support. As long as you're supporting somebody, then you will qualify.
Thank you, Emma. That's clear now. Thank you.
Great. And Kate says that she's joined to find out what support is available for her networks. That's brilliant. And we know that there are so many more carers across the Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole area than we know about than know about our services. A lot of people don't recognise that they are a carer and there is this support available. So if you do know of anybody else that you could pass this information on to, that would be absolutely brilliant. We know at the moment we've got about 5,400 carers signed up to CRISP, but we know there are so many more in our area. So if you do know of any other networks or any other people who might be carers, then please do feel free to point them in our direction, and you can pass on these contact details to them as well. That would be great. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. Well, what we can do now is we can end the session here. But if anyone wants to stay behind to ask me anything, I'll turn off the recording now. And if anybody wants to stay on, they can do. If you've got any other questions to ask me, we've got about 15 more minutes if you want to, or if not, you can go off and join any of the other online events that are on today. Just want to give a warm welcome to everybody and hope that you've found lots of different events that you want to join. So I hope you get lots of useful information out of the festival. And I might see you again at other events. So hopefully see you later. But please do stay on if there's anything else you would like to ask me.
Hi, Emma, it's me again, Gabrielle. So I work for BCP Adult Social Care, outreach officer. So I come across a lot of carers who don't identify as carers. Like you were saying, there's a lot more people out there than recognize themselves or want to describe themselves as that because they believe they're just doing what a family member should do or what a loving husband or wife should do. Have you got any kind of tips to kind of encourage people with that mindset to kind of acknowledge how they need support as well?
And I think that's the key, isn't it? Because when you're caring for someone, your focus is on that person that you're caring for, and you don't necessarily think about you and what you might need. So that is one of the main difficulties really is helping people to recognize themselves as carers and see what they need for themselves. When we've done surveys to ask people, kind of what the challenges are in their caring role, a lot of the time it's that taking time for themselves. And I think some of the services that CRISP offers can really help with that, like the social events. We when we put on the snow bobbing event, a carer got back to us and said, it really took her thoughts away from everything, and all she was thinking about was what she was doing because it was so much fun, and she was thinking about something else for the first time. And so I think it's trying to help people to see that they do need time for themselves as well, and that will actually help them in their caring role if they can have that break and have that support for them. It will help them to be able to stay in that caring role for as long as they want to. So perhaps it might be about telling them what is available and what support they could access.
Yeah, it must be about sowing the seed at the very least.
Yeah,
But I
because a
mean,
lot.
like just hearing you talking about the huts, speech huts. I mean, that's just something that the couple could enjoy, because I think I'm talking about one particular person, but I know that this is quite common. Just doesn't want to be apart from their loved one. So the thought of going away and doing their own thing is almost like, well, that's not what, I married this person for. So I think like maybe if I point out the benefits of those sorts of things, then that's something that they can both share or benefit
Yes.
from.
Yes, definitely. And with our holiday lodges as well, we
Mm.
find a lot of carers take the cared for person with them as well, and it's something they can do jointly. So although
Yeah.
there are things that carers can do on their own, they're, the beach huts and the holiday lodges, that's up to them. They can take their cared for person. It can be something they can do together.
Yeah. And how is that funded?
So it's funded through, so we've got something called the Better Care Fund, which the NHS provides to local authorities. And through that Better Care Fund, that's how we can put on all these services for carers. So with some things, the carer might pay a nominal amount. Sometimes it's it can be about £8 or something like that, just a very, very small amount, and much less than it would cost for hiring a beach hut normally, depending on what the service is. But because we get that funding, it does allow us to put on, you know, a lot more than we would normally, because that funding is specifically for carers. So it really helps us to be able to provide these services.
Yeah, well, that's great. I think that your service is amazing. I'm new to the borough, so I'm just comparing it to where I've come from. And I think it's remarkable. And thank you for today. It's been a pleasure to learn about your team.
Thank you. And we're actually carrying out a review of all of our carer services at the moment, and we're writing a new BCP carer strategy. So we're looking for you know, any feedback from anybody about what they think we offer at the moment, what we could offer in future, and we want to gather as much information from carers as well about what they would like, what they like that we do at the moment, what they would like that we don't do at the moment, to see what we can put into our offer. And there's another session actually later on today, which asks for feedback, because we've got a carers steering group. It's Pan Dorset, so it's across the whole of Dorset County, and we're working on a Pan Dorset refresh strategy. We had 9 objectives that we put together a few years ago, and we're reviewing them again. So we want carers to be involved in that as well, because whatever we do going forward, we want to make sure we're doing it in collaboration with carers, and that we're doing something that, you know, really supports them.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, I'll leave now. Thank you so much, Emma, and your team. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So is there anybody else here that would like to ask any questions?
No, it was really useful. Thank you. Sorry, Kate, I interrupted you. Go on.
No, you go for it, Anna. I was just noticed that the record's still on, and mine's kind of like a work-related query, so I don't know if you need it in the recording.
Oh, let me stop. I'll try stopping it again. I wonder why it didn't stop.